Oh my God, your poor dad.
So should we just get into it?
Let's just get into it.
We got to get into it because we have a hard stop.
We do because I'm just I'm a businesswoman.
She's a bit. She's bragging. Some of us are more important than others.
Some of us have a job.
Oh wow, that's really offensive to the sisters that you're saying I don't have a job.
Why is that offensive to them?
Because we work for them. They're my boss.
Oh, right. Okay, so you don't have a paying job. Yet.
That's what we're working on. I actually found this girl on TikTok and her name is Jessica. Jessica. And so I want to tell the sisters this because what she does is she like kind of helps people like with their pitches. And I found her because she got all of this like free swag for her friend's bachelorette party, like from Waterboy, like makeup stuff, like. And she's like, I work in PR. I can help you perfect your pitch. So I'm working with her to help us perfect our pitch because we have goals.
That's amazing.
One of our main goals, just so the sisters know, since we're like, you know, all working together, is to work with the Moody Center. Like, how fun would that be? Like, we could do giveaways with them. We could bring sisters. The ultimate goal would be to get like a suite and just have like a sister like vibe at like a concert we all love.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
I know. So that's on you guys to help us.
Help us, please.
Should we do our little intro for the FaceTime?
Yeah, go for it.
Welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcast. So thank you for joining us and being the fourth Brant sister.
Thank you.
This is our weekly FaceTime episode. Usually we have a third one here. But you know what? This is what it was like back in 1992.
Exactly. 92 through 94, really.
Yeah, because Bailey came right in the smack dab beginning
of 95.
Yes,
she
which makes
did.
her a zillennial.
Zillennial.
That sounds like a Def Leppard song.
Zillennial. I love Def Leppard. Def Leppard, if you're hearing this, shout out.
Shout out to Def Leppard.
Not that they need it, but I would like them to know is that they still have a fan in me.
Oh, and they have a fan in me too. I had to take a break from Def Leppard for a second because
I know.
Because Colorado loved Def Leppard and that was like our thing, which is like kind of trashy. When you think about it, like our song was Hysteria. Hysteria when you're near.
Honestly, I like it.
It was fun while it lasted, but that didn't last long.
A quick little update for the sisters. So I went on a date with the DM guy, and he was really nice. We had a lovely time, but after I left the date, I was just kind of thinking on things, and I realized that I was feeling more friend vibes than I was romantic vibes. And here's the thing about me. I'm an honest queen, right? So I had to let him know because I'm not going to ghost him. He was really nice. And
That's respectable.
so I let him know that exactly what I just said. Had a great time, but I'm feeling friend vibes more than romantic vibes. I know that we would have a good time if we hung out again, but I don't think that we should because we're on different pages. And he responded. I was so caught off guard by his response because he was just, again, so kind and said that he appreciates my honesty, and he said something like, I know that it's weird in the short term for us to be friends, but if you ever need a karaoke partner, like, just know that you always have a friend in me. And he was like, keep looking for like your perfect match or something, because like the guy who gets you is going to be so lucky. And like, I wish us I wish us both well, like on our like journey to find love or something like that. It was really nice. It was really nice.
So sweet. That's like the perfect response after one date. Like, you don't know if you're going to vibe with someone until you get in person with them.
And the thing is it's not necessarily that it wasn't a vibe. It just like wasn't the vibe that I want in a relationship. Like it was on my side, it was like a friendship vibe. And that's okay too. I feel like 9 times out of 10, the response is more like, okay, you don't like me, well, fuck you, I don't want to be friends. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so it was just, which is still worth that risk, because if you're not feeling it and you know they're feeling it, like you still have to be honest, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was just like all around like I met a nice person. It was friendly. I told him, he like was very like nice about that as well. Mm-hmm. I do have another date tonight. I know my friend Sam
hooked it up
with one of her friends.
We love that. That's like the best case scenario is being set up, I think, these days in these modern times.
So we'll see how that goes, which is why I look like this right now, because I, don't want to get ready until later.
Right. I love that.
Yeah, but I did wash my hair, and I did do a little fake tan, so I'm a little more tan than normal.
That's my little magic sauce is the spray tan before.
The only thing that was really bothering me yesterday is my nails broke on Sunday, and so I was planning on getting them done Monday, but Monday was a big cleaning day for me and it didn't really happen. So then I thought I was going to have time yesterday, but I kind of worked a little later. I didn't have time because by the time I get off work and by the time the nail salon closes, it's a really short window. So I had to paint my own nails, which they look fine, but they're not my dip nails. So, we're working with what we have, and I see them, and we'll have our dip again soon.
You know what these are? These are dip with gel on top, because I almost threw a fit because I was like, just give me gel because this is the color I want. And then the lady was like, you could do dip with, and I was like, thank you for finally saying something. Every time I go in there, I like the gel colors better. And I'm like,
yeah, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. And she's like, the guy's like, oh, sorry, you need to find a dip color that looks like that. And I'm like, how can we make this work? And then the lady was like, just do dip and then he can do gel over it. And he's like, okay.
And you're like, thank you, lady.
Thank you for giving me what I want and I'm willing to pay for. What a concept.
Yeah. The thing that I don't love, but this is where we are, since my nails came off by themselves, they all like cracked and were starting to peel. But the problem with that is the tips of my fingers broke off because they were paper thin. So my nails were really long. They were my natural nails.
No, that's the worst feeling.
So now they're really short, because when they're paper thin, even if I'm not biting them because I have a nail biting problem, but I've gotten so much better. But when the dip comes off and they're so thin, they just disintegrate. Like I don't know where they just disappear. So now they're
worst case scenario.
So now they're just so short. So I'm gonna have to get tips this next time. Ooh. Because I mean, I don't even know if they can paint this short. So
she needs a tip drill.
Anyways.
Well, something really exciting happened this morning to me and your poor dad, if we can like move the traction over there.
Okay.
I'm trying to push people because I'm getting a lot of followers lately, and I'm like, guys, the real star of the show is your poor dad. Like, you need to go to your poor dad. That's where the action's at. This is just the tip of the little iceberg, the tip of the toes, the top of the taint.
The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the tit.
But did I say I was on the Today Show?
You just did?
I was on the Today Show because they used one of my TikTok clips.
TikTok, TikTok.
So if you're here from the Today Show, welcome.
Welcome, baby.
I wonder if anyone like looks at the Today, because they did put my handle in the upper right hand corner.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't either, but I like went back and I also like, I feel like I remember somebody from the Today Show reaching out to me, but maybe that was a dream. But I don't think they got permission. So you'll be hearing from my lawyers.
Right.
But yeah, I wonder if anyone's like, oh, I like that girl's video. It's me, JB. Like, I don't think that like translates, you know?
I think you would be surprised. I don't know, but I could see a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, I was shocked at how many of my friends because I got like a lot of messages from my friends from college who were moms. And I was like, what are they doing so early talking to me?
They're watching the Today Show.
Honey, they are not millennials that cut the cord. They have cable.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's that.
That's
Speaking
exciting.
of queens on TV, should we move to Kelsea Ballerini?
Yes, I have my notes.
I still have 8 minutes left, but we can just go. You can fill me in on the last 8 minutes.
Okay.
Were they juicy?
I mean, but that's okay.
See, I don't know if the interview was giving like juice to me or if it was just like maybe because
Well,
I've been
I feel
through a
like the
divorce.
juice was, and when I say
house?
juice, well, also like the Chase Stokes part, which was like at the end.
Okay, got it.
But I just wanted to say, my first note is the very, very beginning, gifting her a pink
hat?
cowboy hat. What a country queen. I
country
loved that. Loved, you got that Southern hospitality.
Yeah,
And I mean, I just, perfection. I loved that.
yeah, and I liked that Kelsey was her intro into country because country has so much rich like
Drama.
drama.
I know.
She looked gorgeous. What's new?
What is new? I mean,
Yeah.
she slays all the time.
Yeah.
Is your nose good?
It's a little.
And you're wiping it with your shirt.
This is going in the wash.
Oh,
It's
sure.
going in the wash.
It is now Mucus Queen. Do you know what that's from?
No.
Billy Madison. The Mucus Queen is yours. Anyways. Okay. So where do I want to go? First, I want to talk about her friends. Okay. So
Okay.
whenever her friends told him that you have a lot more to gain out of this than she does, even though at that time of the relationship, she didn't really understand that, I really like that she had people in her corner that could see that at that point, you know?
Yeah. So that was what, 6 years ago? So that puts us into like 2017-ish. Probably 2016.
Yeah. That's, I think that's the year they met,
Okay.
was 16.
So she was like becoming a little like a thing to watch in country.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she said that she met him when like her third single came out. So that's when we're talking about, it's like Peter Pan, Dibs, Love Me Like You Mean It.
Okay.
So that was the start of everything. Now, the other friend I want to talk about. Oh my God. I was listening to this part in the shower this morning and
Crying?
I started crying because it was her friend Kelly who showed up at her LA show because a few years, but I think 2 years before, she was having a hard time in LA and she called her husband at the time bawling and she's like, I need you. Please come to me. She bought his ticket and everything, sent it to him, and he didn't show up. And so her friend Kelly, 2 years later in 2021, comes to her LA show and she's like, do you know why I'm here? I'm here to show you that it's not that hard
Yeah, that
to
was
be here for
really
someone.
good.
I was like, like just crying in the shower.
And that's what I will say about getting a divorce is like you have got to surround yourself with strong female friendships. Like if you are a girl that's like, I just don't get along with girls, blah, blah, blah. Find a girl that you get along with. You need, us as women, we need strong female friendships in our life because whether you like it or not, women are different than men. We process shit differently. Having something strong like that in your life when this kind of stuff happens, like literally my friends like all came out when like right when I got divorced, and it was like I was like, no, I don't need it, but looking back that I needed it.
Yeah, and she said something about, you know, being an only child, she always wished she had sisters, and it's like,
And then she started crying.
yeah,
Did you start thinking about your poor dad? Like, you could be our sister.
obviously.
She looks like she could be our sister.
I know. I wish she was our sister.
I know. Like, think about all the
my
cool
God.
shit we could do. if she was our-
Kelsey, come be our sister.
Also, Kelsey will be in town for the CMT. So,
I know.
so get us to fucking Moody Center.
Get us to fucking Moody Center.
Get us to Moody Center. So it's a Kelsea Ballerini.
Kelsea Ballerini. Yes. So a couple things. Let me just preface this by saying I know that I am a Kelsey stan. So
Right.
everything I'm about to say is
Kelsey
biased.
Stanham. And I'll be the middle man because although I am a Kelsey stan, I also am a Libra. So I like to keep the scales balanced.
I just have to say, overall, Morgan just seems like he has such a victim mentality. He has like such like, no offense, but I'm gonna say it anyways, like such loser energy. Like I can't help it. Like
No, the loseriest thing is to release a song starting this whole conversation. Like, I didn't know what was going on. Like, you are obviously in the country, like, scene more. I had no idea what was going on. He brought this to my attention, and then he just expects her to not follow up with, like, a fucking better album because how losery is it to put out one little song and then somebody just
like,
comes and...
oh, I got my heart broken for no reason. When was it over for you?
And then she's like, bitch, 6 EPs and a visual
6
storytelling.
songs, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Six songs and a visual album to release it.
And she's like, were you blindsided or were you just fucking blind? Because we've been in couples therapy since year 2 of our marriage.
And we've had multiple separations.
Like,
And he's like, when was it over? I guess I just like you more.
Like, shut the fuck
Which is
up,
so
you little
interesting.
whiny bitch.
yeah, which is so interesting because like she also said that they didn't fight. They just like didn't talk. Like he, you know,
Yeah.
just wasn't there. So it makes me wonder because at the very beginning she said something that like, you know, her family life was she's a child of divorce and like he was very like family oriented and that was something that attracted her to him, but it just makes me wonder like what his view of a marriage is because she also said something like 2 things can be true at the same time, like him being like her saying like how were you blindsided because I've you know all of this was out on the table, and then him still feeling like wait what. She's like he could feel that way, like I don't know how, but everyone's entitled to their own opinions, right?
Yeah.
And their own feelings, and it's like I just wonder if he was like that naive to just think that, well, we don't fight, so this is a good marriage. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I feel I could relate to that because I feel like sometimes when you're married, people just, it's like they expect unconditional love. They expect you to be able to do whatever the fuck they want, not have to work on something, and then that person will be like, just take it. Like that's like me and my ex. It was like, how many boundaries do I have to set with you in our personal life, in therapy, with like all the shit? And then he just bulldozes them, and then it's like, what? You're gonna leave now? It's like I should have left 6 boundaries that you crossed ago, but like this is the final fucking straw.
Yeah. To add to his loser energy, no offense, but again, I'm just going to keep talking. Like, when they started dating 8 months into their relationship before they're even engaged, he moves in with her, which, like,
Right.
that's kind of weird because he's 9 years older. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
He's in his 30s at that point.
And then 1 month later proposes. Like, it's just, like, weird to me that he moved in with her. I don't know. Maybe that's just, like, me really looking into things.
Well, and she did say, though, that, like, she kind of, and she's a Virgo queen, so we know that she kind of moves things along, and she's probably got her shit together. She's type A, so it was probably easier for him to move into her house than her to move in, because, like, she's already got her shit set up, I'm sure, and he's clearly a loser energy, so, like, who knows what kind of fucking squalor he's living in.
Yeah.
Just kidding. That was kind of mean, but, like...
Okay, like, her basically paying for and scheduling everything for, like, how they're gonna meet, like, that would drive me insane. Like, that is the quickest way to get me out of a relationship, is if I have to be the one that's, like, always, I don't even like planning a date. I have to make so many decisions in my work life. The last thing I want to do is decide where we're going for dinner, let alone be in a marriage and have to be the one that's organizing the flights, figuring out where, like, when and where we can see each other for how long. Like, I need some help with that. Like, that would be the quickest way to drive me away. And I just felt so bad that that was her life.
Yeah. Well, you know what that reminds me of? Mr. Roberts. Another Virgo queen. He was like, I do everything. Like, I plan everything. I need you to, like, I want to see that you can plan stuff too. And he's a Virgo queen. So he was planning all this shit. And I was just like, oh, he's the planner. But, like, once he communicated, like, I don't want to be the only one putting out this much, like, this kind of effort. Like, I want you to do that as well. Then I was like, oh, okay. And I stepped up and I just started planning shit. But, like,
yeah, you're like, I thought you liked this.
I thought you're hey, I can do it, but like, Morgan didn't take the fucking hint.
Not only did he didn't take the fucking hint, but, like, when she's begging him, I need you to come here to me. Here's your ticket. Just get on the plane. He's like, no.
Like, imagine somebody buying you a plane ticket and you're just like, no.
I cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot. Okay. What else do I have here? Okay. So something I just like that she said, who you marry is not who you divorce. I think that's so true. And I think that is something that maybe in the back of my mind, I might have realized just watching you go through a divorce, but never would that have been a thought that went through my head when I was thinking about marrying somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and that was kind of, like, eye-opening. It's like, yeah, wow, like, you're right. The person you marry is the best, typically, the best version of that person. And going through a divorce, it's typically the worst version of that person.
Well, and they had assets and, like, a lot of things to divvy up. And I think it's really hard to be, like, maintain your morals and values when you have all these people in your ear. Like, she had her management and her lawyers. So I'm sure he had the same thing. And I'm sure that was, like, it's really hard to, like, remain out of it when you have people being like, you deserve this, you deserve that. Are you gonna let her get away with that? Are you gonna let him get away with that?
Well,
like,
and no offense, but because he has loser energy and, like, he is the guy who's gonna jump on every opportunity, again, no offense, but here I am, like, of course he's gonna be the one that's like, instead of just letting it be, let's divide everything the way that it's fair for maybe how we contributed to things. I don't know. Like, instead of it being like that, kind of like when you went through your divorce, like, it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was just like it seemed easy in that regard because it was,
we
like,
also had nothing.
You had nothing, but, like,
all we had was credit card debt, and I was like, "Can you just take that?" And he was like, "Yeah,"
but it's like the things that you guys did have, like, even if it was like the mattress or the computer or things like that, it's like, okay, you take this, but, like, this is gonna be this, you use this more, whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a duking it out fighting, whereas, I mean, he's jumping on the first opportunity, like, my little heart's broken, I'm going to write a song before we're even divorced. Of course, he's going to be like, give me half the house that I didn't put half into, you know?
Yeah. But I'd be interested in what people think about that, because if the roles were reversed and a woman did that, I don't think it would be that big of a conversation. But because she's a woman, she probably had to work a lot harder. We know country music is harder on women. And yet he's a man and he still can't. Okay, whatever.
Well, the only other thing that, and this is part of that conversation, I don't always just think that the woman should get half, right?
Yeah.
But until a certain point. Like, there is a certain point when you've been together for a long enough time, whether you contributed equally or not, I do think you're entitled to half of the assets.
Yeah, like when children raising comes into play.
Absolutely. And I think in this regard, like, even if the roles were reversed, and maybe again, this is me being like a Kelsea stan, I just don't think that if he's the one that put the most money into the house, I don't think she would be fighting for half of the house. You know what I mean? I think she would just be like, fair is fair. Like, let's say we sell this house and it's like 70-30. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I think she would be a little more like, let's move on and let's just move on as fair as possible. I don't know shit about fuck, but that's just what I assume.
And it's crazy because their overall relationship, it does kind of remind me of my marriage, because it's just like two people that like should not have been together. And like, in that, it just sucks. Like, I think that she's gonna learn how to be a better partner, because she herself, she was like, I'm not like without fault in this, but like, I think that she's going to realize, she's going to take a lot of lessons from this and become an even better partner in the future. And she's going to find somebody that is not displaying these red flags like he was early on. Like, there's so many red flags that Mark displayed very early on, and I was just like, we're getting married, because that's what you do.
Well, it's also just, it was so interesting, like, at that time, like, so many young female country stars got married at the same time, and they do run in a small circle, right? So it's like, it was Kelsea, it was Marin, it was Carly, it was Casey. You know what I mean? They were all, I feel like it's so easy. You're kind of just now breaking in, like, all of your hard work starting to pay off. Like, people are hearing you. You're making a name for yourself. The other kind of girls that are your peers, they're at this point also doing the same thing, and they're finding, like, it was just like, it seemed like it was like the next step. So I can totally understand how she would maybe jump into something before she even like felt like she was ready.
Yeah.
And then it all like played out like this. It's just crazy. And it's also crazy to know that Marin and Ryan are the only ones that are going strong. And I fully believe that they are like forever.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with them.
And it seems like he really like lets her be the star that she is.
And because they just seem to have such a mutual respect for each other, and they let the other one shine like when it's their time, but they do everything together. Like, everything that they do is as a family unit, and when it's his turn to go on tour, like, she's there. When it's her turn to go on tour, like, he's there. Like, they organize their life in a way that they put like the family unit first. Yeah. And then everything works out around it.
I think that's like what you have to do to be able to like make it in those relationships. Like, I think it's really hard to like both be like on parallel paths, like working equally as hard for your goals. Like, I like that they combine it together. There is something to say about traditional values. Like, I don't feel like I'm a traditional girly, but like there is something there.
I agree. Okay, what else do I have? Something that I felt deep within my core is that she doesn't trust herself, because how could she be with someone like that and not know? And hindsight is everything, right? But I felt the same way with Tyson. That was what I talked about a lot in therapy, is how do I know that the next person I date isn't going to be abusive? Because I didn't even know that I got into an abusive relationship until one day I'm just there, right? So how can I trust myself to make good decisions? And obviously her situation wasn't like that, but it still was that same thing. Like, how did I get in this relationship with somebody that I never would have expected them to act like this at this point, you know?
Right.
And those are real thoughts. Those are real thoughts.
Those are real thoughts. But you just have to like learn and trust yourself moving forward.
The last two things that I want to say.
Okay.
When Alex started asking if she's dating, aka is she dating Chase Stokes? It was really cute because she's nervous, but she's excited, like she's happy. And Alex said something like, when you know that these pictures are coming out of you and Chase, do you worry about what Morgan is going to think? Do you worry if Morgan's going to see it? And she was like, no, because I'm not married to him anymore. And I hope that he has people in his family or on his team that are either shielding him from those things or like being there, like if he's upset by those things. She was like, but I am not responsible for his feelings anymore.
Yeah.
And I love that she said that, because it's so easy. I think, again, typically as women, like we put so much pressure on ourselves. Like, well, he's really upset. So like if I'm seen moving on and happy, you have to dim
yourself,
yes,
so to make them feel better.
Yeah. And so I love that she said that. She's like, I'm not responsible for him anymore. Like, I hope he's okay. She's like, but I don't know what he's doing. I don't want to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And like, if he sees what I'm doing, like, I hope he has people that are like on his side and like there for him, but like, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
And I really liked that. The last thing, did you see how her and Chase got together? She slid into his DMs.
Nice. So
I know.
There's something to say about a DM slider.
Yeah, she said that her manager, Outer Banks is filmed in like Charleston or something, and I guess that's where her manager's from. And her manager was like, you know who's cute? Chase Stokes. Whenever
duh. Do you, you know who's cute? Chase Stokes. No shit.
And she's like, you know what? He is. And then the manager's like, whenever you're ready, you should pursue that. And so she just slid into his DMs, and she said, because his handle's like,
I'm Chase, or
like
something.
I'm Chase Stokes, or like something like that. And she said, hi, Chase Stokes. And it was
imagine Chase Stokes like being like looking at his little DMs and saying, "Oh, Kelsea
Ballerini."
Like my little heart would like flutter if I was him.
Same. But that was that. I really liked. I fucking love Kelsea Ballerini, and
Yeah.
I love that she went on Call Her Daddy.
Yeah. One thing that she said that I was like, okay, clearly she's like been rehearsing this was, and like this was like her big point was like, he loved me more at 23 and I love me more at 29. And I was like, okay, like she was waiting to plug that in there.
Yeah.
It's good though. It is a good thing to say, but it just felt very like, she was like, okay, is this the time I should say that? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Didn't bother me at all. What bothered me was yesterday when Morgan posted his Instagram and he said something like, oh, you know, if this is what she needs to do to feel better, then she can do it. Like, fuck off.
Act like you didn't just release a song, you fucking loser.
And I know that I'm being really hard on him, and I apologize. I just like can't help it right now.
I don't apologize. He deserves it.
Because
if
I
you're gonna act like a loser, then you have to.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
To have the loser consequences.
That's the thing. Like, if you're gonna be stupid, you got to be tough. You know. I learn that every day. I really do.
He was really trying to he was doing his best to drum up some vibes from everyone look, poor me, because he knew this was gonna happen, and it just didn't work. It's not gonna Kelsea Ballerini is the sweetheart of country music right now. I'm sorry, you're not gonna bring her down. It's not like she did anything to really she didn't do anything.
Yep.
If she did something, maybe he would have a chance, but it was just a breakup. You started it. She fucking ended it, and she did it way better than you. And sucks to suck.
And that's that on that.
But yeah. I think this is going to be the best year of Kelsea Ballerini's life. I think she's going to have that post divorce glow up is so real coming from experience. You could look at my face while I was married, and then right after I got divorced, I turned into a more beautiful person inside and out.
Yeah, you really did.
Well,
okay, what else?
We have our Zoom is about to end in 1 minute and 40 seconds. Do you want to keep going?
It's up to you, darling.
Hold on, let me end this and then I'll resend you. But don't turn off anything on your thing, okay? Okay. 1 second. I've never been like you. I have to go pee really, really quick. I'm gonna pee my fucking pants.
Hi. I just started reading an update we had from someone that you gave advice to, and then I immediately stopped because we need to read that out loud.
I'm walking on sunshine.
Oh. And don't it feel good? Hey. All right now.
Doesn't that song just remind you of the 90s?
Yeah, there was another. Remember you used to be obsessed with the song There She Goes. And you always wanted I remember you pointing I had to run in a circle or something, and then you would follow me.
There she goes.
But I found out that song's about what is it? I don't know.
Bad.
Addiction? Yeah, something bad. Something you wouldn't think. It seems just so bright and sunny. And it's something bad.
It never is, isn't it? Oh my gosh.
You're disgusting.
My little belly is just blank. Okay, we're back. So, getting a ton of comments. Okay. So, last thing I think we should talk about before you have to depart and be an actual member of society is our dear girly Britney. Do we want to talk about her?
I don't know what the fuck to say.
I know. I don't really like talking about Britney because I am such a stan, and it's really sad to see what's going on. Whatever is happening with her, I know she says that she's better, blah, 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 but clearly this is not normal behavior.
The video that I sent
most
you guys
recent
yesterday, like
video.
with the dresses, first of all, her accent's back. Not her Louisiana accent, her British accent, like it's back. And
Yeah.
she was like, what'd she say? Like,
But it was very low.
Don't be a roller coaster. Ooh, ooh. I was like, what?
No, it
It's
is
happening.
like psychosis. And
It's just really alarming because I'm sure that she doesn't know who to trust or not. I mean, and doesn't necessarily know what's right because she needs therapy. Like but she's probably been in therapy
for a long time.
for a long time that wasn't actually therapy. So she's probably so turned off by the idea of therapy, but like something needs to happen because she's not. It's way more alarming to see what she posts. And I'm not surprised that people call the police sometimes because it's like scary.
Yeah. I'm sure her parents are really, really worried about her. I'm sure her entire family is worried about her because, like, there's nothing they can do. I don't think her being under a conservatorship was maybe the best thing for her because there was so much, like, control. But I also don't think that, like, her being left to her own devices is the right thing either. Like, she needs help, but like you said, she doesn't trust anyone. So how is she going to get that help?
I don't know.
Because imagine if somebody comes to her, like anyone coming to her saying like, Britney, you need help. That is like a
trigger,
a huge trigger. So it's just like really sadsies. And
it's really sad. And there was, going back to the Kelsea interview, there was something she said that in my mind, she said something like, oh yeah, like, it might have been when she was talking about her friends or something. Like, if I didn't have my friends, like, I would have had a breakdown or something like that. And I immediately was like, oh, like,
Britney.
She would have pulled a Britney or something.
Yeah.
Like, there was something along those lines that in my brain, I've almost thought about it as, like, a description of, like, oh, like, hopefully this artist doesn't go Britney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's so not okay in my brain that I think that now.
Yeah, but she's like somebody that was at the top of the game. Like, I don't think that there was anyone bigger at the time. Like, she was the best of the best. And then we just saw her go from like, that is a long way to fall. So it's like, I think now it's a cautionary tale. Like, we have to protect these people or else they're going to. Fame is not natural.
Right. I don't know. It's just really sad. And I don't know what the solution is.
I don't know either, but I hope she gets help because how do you repair your brain after that much damage?
I don't know.
It's so sad. Way to end this on a sad note, Jade.
Yeah, is there anything else we can talk about real quick? Because yikes.
Oh, no. Yikes, bikes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I can't think of anything now. I'm sad. I was like really happy. So sorry for killing your guys' vibe.
That's okay. You know, hopefully my date's good tonight. Like, that's
It does feel like spring in Austin, and that's like a very nice thing.
yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna wear because I might even wear a little dress. Ooh. But I'm not sure yet.
So if we're gonna end this episode, I would love if the sisters could maybe tag us in Tinks's post about her coming to Austin.
And maybe Kelsea Ballerini's.
Kelsea Ballerini. Here's our main hit list right now. Kelsea Ballerini, Moody Center, and Tinks. Actually, Jenna Palick I think she should come on the podcast.
Okay.
And Kennedy Urick.
Okay.
Just some like
Local
girls who have like sister vibes. Like we need more sister vibes, you know, connect sister vibes to sister vibes. But if you like this podcast, make sure to send it to your friends. Send it to like your friend who needs a divorce. Send it to your friend who's going through a divorce. Send it to your friend who just you like and you want to share some good content with.
And remember, since we are working for you, the only thing we ask is that you
rate us
and share us.
Mr. Roberts is going to be so excited. He's going to be tickled to know that we took his advice.
I would love to pick his little brain.
I know, we got to pick his little brain sometimes. I always try to pick his little brain, and he gives little nuggets.
Yeah, I want like a buffet.
Yeah, maybe we should take him out to dinner.
We could do that.
To Sizzler.
I wish.
All right. Say goodbye to your sisters.
Goodbye, sisters.
Bye.